everybody. Um, I figured I'd start this video out here and then, finish it off inside because it's far too cold. The video that I'm doing today, I'm doing it, it's called, I don't know if it's going to be called, but it's living with an alcoholic for 7 years. And, that's when Ed was an alcoholic for 7 years, and I thought I would tell you guys all about it and let you know some of the things that had happened. And my joint keeps going out. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be. And it's gonna be like in two parts. It's gonna be a first part because that's gonna be the beginning of it, and then the second part is gonna be like towards the end of the alcoholic part of it. So I'm just going to finish smoking this, and then I'll meet you guys back inside to tell you my story of living with an alcoholic for 7 years. Okay, so my joint is done, and before I actually started this, I started making notes of everything that I could remember from the beginning to the end. And there is so much stuff that there was so much stuff that happened, and so much stuff that, I thought would be good to share. So I have stuff. If you hear paper, it's because I have stuff written down. And there's quite a bit of it. I have full line paper like this, right? Except this one, front and back on that one, and then just about front of the other one. So if you hear paper, that is why, because I'm as I'm telling you guys stuff, I should have brought up a pen though. That was not so bright. But okay, so Ed was an alcoholic for 7 years, and I don't even know how it had turned into him being an alcoholic, I could say. It was he rarely drank, rarely, and if it did, it'd be I don't know, he was more of the weed. He was always not more, he was the weed person. He liked his weed, and that's what he did. And I'm just gonna try to fix this a bit. So, you know why, but I things, I don't know if you can, hang on. I'm trying to position this so it has all of my head, and I hope so. So yeah, things happen in life, and I don't know, this was just one of the things that happens. And prior, to him drinking, our oldest son had moved out, and that was a little bit of a changer. We have 2 kids, but the oldest moved out, and that was just, it just happened, right? And I don't think either of us were prepared for that. And um, so you know what? Like he moved out, and now we're a family of three, which is fine. Um, and you know, we both just did our separate things, and um, like I look back now, and I don't know why, but maybe that's how we coped with it. And Ed started to he started to drink. It was the liquor. It was actually the Crown Royal. There was a couple times there was like, you know, Jack Daniels and stuff, but mostly Crown Royal. And he would drink and watch YouTube videos, and that's what he would do. And at first it was like, actually, now that I'm looking down at my notes, it first had started with White Russians. Both me and him were drinking White Russians. They were very tasty. They were very good. But we had stopped that because, well, we started to get fat. And every time Ed would drink the White Russian, his foot would swell up. I'm pretty sure it's his left. It would swell right up like it. So he stopped the White Russians, and he went into the whiskey, the Crown Royal. Like I said, there was probably, you know, some Jack Daniels in there or whatever, but it was Crown Royal. And I don't know, like I still don't know to this day how does a couple shots turn into like what it did. So anyways, yeah, he had started drinking the whiskey, and it was like to the point like he would be throwing up, like, you know, outside, like, because it was summertime that time was the throwing up, so he would throw up outside, like he would throw up first thing in the morning, like just there was that's what it was coming. That's the amount of liquor he was drinking. And that wasn't even like what I'm getting into. He would stand outside on the side of the house at night. And this was, like I said, years ago. This is at the beginning of this. So maybe like 2000 and maybe 8, 9, no. Anyways, there was neighbors that lived there before, and the guy over there was he was like a really big alcoholic, and Ed would laugh at him because the guy would be on the side of the house just puking, and Ed would be standing there and he would be laughing at him. And there was one time with that same individual, he was drunk, and he got into his car, and he literally backed out of that driveway and parked his car right on Maple North. He was there, and he had passed out in the car, and Ed had stink bombs, and this is while he's drinking. It was, you know, aside from the puking at the first part of it, there was nothing wrong. Like, there was happy times. It was, anyways, he ended up throwing the stink bombs inside the vehicle where the guy was passed out. The guy woke up from the smell of them, gagging, and there's Ed on the side of the house, fucking pissed drunk, fucking laughing. So, like I said, there was nothing at first that really, I can't say really bad, but like it was whatever, like it was like, it was not a big deal, I guess you could say. And, you know, then, like, you know, the next morning, you know, not every morning, but there was like quite a few times I'd say, like, where'd you get that bruise from? And he wouldn't have a clue. And I know one time for sure he went outside. It was in the summertime, and he had fallen. And but he like his knee was fucking all bloody and stuff, and he's just laughing about it, saying that he had even scrapes on his belly and like from the pavement, and he'd just laugh about it, and it was not a big deal. It got to the point with the whiskey that he wasn't remembering stuff. Like, he was blackening out. And a 40-ounce bottle he would drink, I would have to stop him at half, because the other half was for the next day. But there's times that he went over the half, and that was just too fucking expensive. Like, $40 a day on, like, no. So he moved over to the beer. And his tolerance was so high from the whiskey that the beer was 12 beers and 2 tall boys. That's what he would drink. And I'm just looking at my notes if that's what you're... and the whiskey and the beer, I know they're both whatever, but I don't think the whiskey, like, I think it's a different kind of drunk than the beer, because the beer with Ed was, it was like, it was not bad at all. He wasn't as drunk as fast. In the beginning, he wasn't blackening out from it. My God, the guy, like Ed, and that's why I said the guy, like, he quit smoking while he was drinking. He got his grade 12. This is being drunk. I can't even say drinking. Got his grade 12 drunk. Quit smoking drunk. Got his elevator tickets 2 times drunk. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. And yeah, like, I don't really know how many people, and not that, like, whatever, but this is like what he did when he was drunk. Like, it was. And then I noticed he would drink in the bathroom for hours, like hours. I can remember waking up and he'd be in the bathroom drinking, and it was just like I don't know why he was in there for so many hours. It was just like, and he just drank and drank and drank in there. Like, it was, ouch, I got a pain. Yeah, like, it was, so, like, and then that had started, and then, I don't know what, like, I don't know if, I really don't know too much about an alcoholic. I don't know if there's, like, certain stages through the body that, or the brain or whatever, but that led into Ed, like, take for instance, pitch black, never turned a light on in the house, made it from upstairs in the bedroom here, down the stairs, through the dining room, everything, opened up the basement door, went down those stairs, and and woke up with him taking a piss in the fucking garbage can that I have in the laundry room side. Like, how does that happen? Not a light on, and this is like kind of where things, like, started to, like, it was a little bit weird. Like, it was, he told me that, and I just, it was kind of like, how did you not even fall? How did nobody wake up? Like, and then that led into him, like, pissing on the bedroom floor. And me waking him up, because it wasn't like he was here, you know what I mean? Like he was here, but and then it was like, well, you know, what the fuck's going on? Hang on, I'm just gonna, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I gotta see what the time is on here, because I gotta time these out. Okay, we still have, I'm still good for time. Okay, and like he was asked, when he was asked to be on like Doomsday Preppers, and you know, he declined it because, well, first of all, he didn't have all the stuff that all those other people had, and like second of all, like he knows more of, like, he knows the fighting stuff, he knows that kind of stuff. Like he could teach people how to fight. Like so yeah, like he always, like his thing is, all you need is a knife and a dog. And you know, and then he was asked to be on a different show there, the fuck was it called? Not Doomsday Prep, Naked and Afraid, and that was just like, he wasn't going on there. And for the same thing, he's more of the, you know, if you were in the woods, I think, and there was somebody else and they tried to maybe fucking kill you or something, I don't know, but that's his thing. That's, you know, that's why he didn't go on those shows. And there, back to the, you know, with the drinking the beer, there was times that he would wake up, going to bed, like, you know, wake up, go to the bathroom, head back downstairs, not realizing that he already went. He was already asleep. He's supposed to be going back to bed. He'd get out, go down the stairs, crack open a beer, you know, take a big gulp of it, look around and realize, oh, you know, everybody's gone to bed. Oh, you know, I'm supposed to be in bed. And then just come back to bed. He and at the same, like, as all this had started to happen, Ed, like, really, he really, not that before he was quiet about it, but he really let me see if I might have to fix that a bit. He really, you know, if he thought you were stupid, you're fucking stupid. If he thought you were a liar, and he's still like that now. It was just more like when he was drunk and saying it, it was like, you know, like, I remember him arguing on the phone with especially, I'll say, Flat Earth Mike. He would come out and just tell him, like, you're a fucking liar. He didn't, there was, like, no, you know, like, sometimes you have that thing in your head, like, oh, should I say? Ed just fucking says it, especially when he's drunk. He just would say it. And then he got to the point that, you know, he wasn't talking to that guy anymore, you know. And he would just drink. Like, he would, but it wasn't like I said, it wasn't like, I knew, like, okay, he definitely shouldn't be, you know, fucking walking downstairs drunk, not naked, but drunk and with no lights on, and like, where the hell are these bruises coming from? And he would never ever, he wouldn't know. And it wasn't like we just went on with our lives, like, okay, you know, every couple days you go to the beer store, you get you know, it would be a case of beer or whatever the deal was. Sometimes you get 28 for whatever. I know, because was the one that started to go, because he got me, like, he taught me, that's another thing, he taught me how to drive, like, and all this time, not once did he stop smoking weed. He smoked weed, he has smoked weed every day for a very, very long time. And with the drinking, he just continued to smoke it and continue. And then with the smoking, he would drink the beer. And like, his appetite was like, I went from cooking like whatever and him hardly even finishing onto his plate to, or like he would have like, you know, different things, snack on different things, to like he was hungry and it was like he could eat a lot. And it was, you know, I would wonder, how is he eating so much? Because that like, it would be, you know, McDoubles, and it would be fries, and it would be pizza, and it would be, you know, summertime, and it would be, you know, cook up a hamburger, throw on the hamburgers, the hot dogs, and at the time pork chops or steak, and he would eat it with, you know, this big Greek salad. I know this stuff because I would buy it for him. And then it got to the point that he was gaining so much weight, and it was always like, so the things, you know, if he were to, like, he'd continue to drink, but we always had to have Tums, because his heartburn would be so bad. Headache pills, and his beer. That's all. And, well, we had food, but, you know, and it just, and, you know, at the beginning, like I said, smokes, but then he had quit. He had quit smoking drunk. And that wasn't even, like, I think, you know, to be honest with you, how stupid this may sound, but the only way I can think that he really got through that is with the alcohol, because, I mean, I quit smoking and you are bitchy and you're, you know, you're all kinds of things. And he may have been like a little bitchy, but not that much. He was more like, he would just drink, eat, watch YouTube videos, and just, that's what he did. And then, I'm just trying to make sure I cover everything. And I think so in the beginning. Yeah, everything's covered in the first part of this, so I can just talk like, so I can actually say, yeah, like, I was like seen it from the very beginning, which wasn't a big deal, which slowly it started turning into a big deal. This is like a guy that, you know, Ed gets up at, you know, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe 7 at the time, to sleeping in till 10 or 11. Like, it was, it just, like, I didn't know how bad it was going to get, but yeah, it was bad. It was, at first it was happy, like, it was like no big, like, oh, like anybody would, you know, you see people drink all the time, so what is it, like, what's the big thing? And then you see what actually can happen to somebody, and it's not good. And yeah, there was so many, like, I'm glad that he stopped with the whiskey, because and he used to, like, he would puke, right? And he'd fucking say, like, the birds are gonna, like, he'd laugh about that the birds are gonna eat his puke, which they did eat his puke, but he would laugh about it. Like, everything was just like not a big deal. And you know what? He's gonna do what he's gonna do. He's gonna sit outside in the hot summer day and drink beer all day. That's what he did. Or if he's gonna sit inside and do it, that's what he did. And that's why would there be a problem with it? He what was I gonna say? I forget what I was gonna say. But yeah, like in the beginning, like I said, it wasn't okay. Well, like the whiskey got a little bit ridiculous. Like a 40 ouncer lasting 2 days, sometimes a day and a half. That wasn't good. The beer in the beginning was fine until, you know, like there would be like, say, wrestling event. He hasn't watched wrestling. He hasn't watched any TV in a long time, but and it was like, okay, well, I need this X amount more because it's going to be you know what I mean, playing, or it's starting at whatever time, and you know, so you know, what was an extra can or two, like it was. And yeah, like the drinking, if I am correct, which my memory is sometimes okay, most of the times, drinking you usually didn't start till like supper time. Sometimes, you know, a little bit after. Like it wasn't, you know. And then when like the stuff had happened with him, like drinking in the bathroom for so long, like I didn't understand how he could anyways, that is a mystery to me. But and what the heck was I gonna say? Oh yes, when that had started, you know what, it wasn't, you know, 5, 6, 7 o'clock drinking. It would be, okay, I'm gonna start drinking today at 4, and then 4 led to 3. I'm gonna start drinking at 3. I mean, he never hid anything from me or whatever. Like that didn't bother me, but he would always tell me, okay, I'm gonna start drinking. And, you know, other than, you sure okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Well, then that, you know, okay. So, and, you know, that, to, like, look back at it, that probably, that wasn't a good thing to, you know, but it happened. And I, like, really don't know. I'm saying this now because I'll probably say it at the end too. I don't know how he survived it. I don't know how he drank like he did, smoke the weed that he did, eat what he did, and not that I, you know, nothing horribly, like, there was nothing like, in, you know, some people have a heart attack, or some people just fucking, I don't know, kidneys or liver start to fail, or I don't know, jaundice. And yeah, nothing like that happened. So I don't really know. So I'm gonna stop this part here, and then I'm gonna continue on. You'll see the second half of this, which is a lot. There's a lot of stuff that happens in the last little in the last 2 years of his drinking. Things got worse, like a lot. And yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys about that. So I'll see you guys in a couple seconds.